Currently, we have a game developer studio called Ultimate. I'm co-founding the company. Now it's like, as a CEO. Basically, we are like one of the key players in the Indonesia game industry because we're quite been some time in the industry, been since 2003, kind of survivor. We've been developing games and lately also publishing, mainly from the local. And we also the local partner for Square Enix, especially for the mobile contents, maybe more than that. Let's see about Indonesia. I will address like 4 main points, like very simply as like where Indonesia, and then most importantly like what is actually Indonesia. Maybe some of you didn't know what is Indonesia, what's inside, what's happening, and then why Indonesia may be important or might be of interest for you guys, and then if it's some interest for you, and then how to enter the market. Let's see. Anyone knows about where Indonesia is? Okay, let's check. So where's Indonesia? So it should be on that side. Okay. Most people here from Asia, so maybe you knew about the place. It's quite big, right? And it's very simple where. Now let's see what. Maybe for some people, Indonesia sounds so far, so exotic, so people think it's like a jungle, right? So Indonesia is something tropical, not civilized like this. This is one place in Borneo. Or maybe what we are doing are farmers. We are farmers, we are agriculture country, we don't do any digital, we don't do any games, right? Or maybe we are so famous for like riot maybe, or demonstration. Well, we are, but well, time to time, but other places also have this kind of event sometimes, right? But what is actually Indonesia? Let's see. We are a country with about 230 plus million population. We are 4th biggest after China, India, and US. So it's huge population. In Southeast Asia, we are the largest. And Jakarta itself and its surroundings, total like 25 million in population. We are among the top 3 cities in the world, competing with like Tokyo, Seoul, and Shanghai. So we are big, Jakarta. And a little bit about Jakarta, as Indonesia is very wide, like 250 people, largest nation, so a lot of people mix in Jakarta. So Jakarta is kind of like melting pot there. Our national language are Bahasa Indonesia, so it's kind of like Melayu language in Singapore and Malaysia. We use it as our national language. Almost all of the people can speak Bahasa Indonesia. It's basic in the school. Well, so we still have our local language, around 746 local language spoken daily, differently. That's general demographic. Let's see about our digital facts. Our internet users are around 40 million, which is still very, very small, only 17% penetration compared to like Singapore, Thailand, or Japan, Korea. It's quite high. Amazingly, Facebook users, we are 4th in the world. In Asia, is 2nd. It was 1st, but now, sorry, it should be, yeah, right, 2nd in Asia after India. It should be 1st, like few months ago, but India crossed over us. Now, India is number 1. It's around 42.5 million users with the demographics. For Twitter, we are quite talkative. We are 5th in the world. Well, talkative means sometimes in the Twitter world, people are a bit curious. Sometimes there are Indonesian language come into the trending topics like a year ago. So they are a bit curious, why this is become like trending topic. There's a news at the time like a porn star has the video in the public that become a trending topic, and people start to Google what this name is actually. They're Googling that porn star. So it's quite funny. But nowadays, Twitter are localized. They localize the region, right, the trending topic. So it's not happen that much anymore. But well, yes. And even in Asia, the top Twitter followers in Asia is Indonesian by 4 million followers. So aside of the jungle, riot, and everything, we are very exist in this digital world. Mobile users, we are around 250 million subscribers, more than population. The penetration is around 110%, means for one person we can have like 2 until 3 mobile devices. Like me, I bring 2 mobile devices. Some people sometimes more for any reasons. The largest one is called Telkomsel. Telkomsel itself has 110 million subscribers, at least what they claim in the public. 40 million of them are data subscribers. Second and third, almost the same, around 50 million. Our culture, influenced by 2 culture. Do you know this one? Oh, sorry? SpongeBob, right. So you must have a daughter or son then. And the other one is Naruto. So we are a country which are quite open. We have Western influence, at the same time we have Asian influence. We can accept both cultures, both games, both contents. Quite funnily, if you're looking for like a game artist who are like grown up in around 80s, their style will be Western style. They will draw like a superhero. But if you're looking for an artist who grew in 90s, they draw already like manga. It's always with big eyes, very cute, big heads. So, well, I think it happened also in some other countries in Asia, I think. Malaysia, Singapore, maybe the same. Let's see again. Laruku is from Japan. They came to Jakarta just recently. Bieber also. Everyone knows Justin Bieber. Fans of it, maybe? Do you know this one? It's a Super Junior. It's a top band, top boy band in Korea. They also just recently came to Jakarta. Also Katy Perry. Actually, Lady Gaga should come, but it's cancelled just a few days ago. Ticket price in our country is a bit expensive. It starts like from $60 US, while in other place maybe around 30 or 20. $200 to $100 for like VIP or very special. Katy Perry a little bit more expensive. Laruku, Super Junior, and all sold out. That's our economy, that's our people. And in the gaming scene, let's see about gaming scene. In Indonesia, interestingly, we have a lot of Flash developers, and some of them are award-winning. We can see like Cube Colossus by Lucid Dream. The guys are here. They won Flash in the Flash Gaming Summit in 2010 for People Choice Awards. And then from Tokyo, the one who gave us seminars before, they won Best Multiplayer Game for Planetary Conflict for 2011. And recently this year, they won Best Game Art also for one of their game. And in terms of gameplay, you can see one of their game, it's from Tokyo, called Infectonator 2, is #1 action game in Armor Games, #1. And Infectonator, for all time, is #4 in Congregate. So in terms of quality, production quality, we should be competitive enough. Art-wise, gameplay-wise, talents. And there are many others which score more than 80%, means in Congregate minimum 4 of 5 stars. And in Armor Games, for example, minimum 8 out of 10 score. So it's pretty good. This is our self-ultimate. We start 2003 creating 3D game actually. This is what we are doing back in 2003. Myself and my team, commercially not working, but this is quite good at the time. Totally from scratch. I'm not recommending anyone do 3D games from scratch nowadays. Please don't do that. We spent almost 2 years just making this game. Quite good. It makes recognition, but not commercially. It's taught all out from Indonesia, art, technically, music, everything. I will skip this because the time is limited. And then we come to the third point. So why? Why Indonesia? It's a big market. Yes, I show you the number, I show you the situation, but so what with the big market? How to monetize? Is there any revenue in Indonesia? Why should it matters? Let's see. For online gaming, let's say it's hardcore, for hardcore gamers, not a casual. Reported is 7 million online gamers. This is still far lower than Vietnam or Thailand. They are more mature in the online game scene. For one successful online game, at least they make like 500,000 US dollar per month, at least. For hardcore gamers, ARPU around 7 to 8 US dollar. That's the minimum if you want to be a hit game. Top recorded CCU is 200,000 CCU. It's a point blank FPS. This is an online game. Well, let's say online game, there's some money there, just like as in Philippines, like the one who presented before, Thailand, maybe Singapore, Malaysia, and everywhere. But everyone say no market for local, especially for casual, not the hardcore one. Everyone said so in almost the same in any region in Southeast Asia. I have one case in Indonesia. We operate one game, one mobile game, which is grossing. It's still small related to like Japan. Japan's 1 million US dollar per day for the hit game. We only like 50,000, very humble. But it's good enough. Better than like the iOS game that we only make like $10,000 for 1 year, for example. So it's 50,000 US dollar per month, only from one mobile carrier, which are, the mobile carrier is it's not the number 1, not number 2, not number 3, it's number 4. So it's very small. But it can make like 50,000 US dollar per month by ARPU for very, very small number, around 20 cents, with average transaction of around 200,000 to 300,000. We have been running this game since 2009, so it's almost 3 years. And recently it's decreasing because it's a little bit old. We try to rejuvenate the game with a new game recently. But this is a proof that actually there's a market there. There's a market in Indonesia or maybe in other parts of Southeast Asia or in Asia, which people say no market. Let's see again why Indonesia is interesting. This is another proof. It's not from my point of view, but from other point of view. Currently, there's an investment bubble on startups in Indonesia, both for internet companies, also games, mostly by Asian companies like from Indonesian VC, Singaporean VC, and a lot of Japanese VC, which means there's some fish in Indonesia. It's not from me saying, but somebody else sees something in Indonesia. And almost all of the big Japanese companies already look at Indonesia. Just name it. Square Enix already there, Konami looking for it, Capcom already come, who else? Sega is coming, Gree of course already look at it, DNA also, well, Nintendo I haven't seen them around, but maybe they are too busy with the consoles, maybe, I don't know. So, they see something in Indonesia. And then, of course, internet company are faster, like Yahoo, Google, they already opened the offices in Indonesia. Some of them acquiring local businesses like Groupon, you know about Groupon, and Living Social, same like Groupon. Actually at the time in Indonesia, we make like, there are 10 clones of Groupon and they just wait Groupon to come and buy them and it works. They buy one of them. Living Social buy the second one, while the 8 others may be out of business. And Gameloft also opened a studio in Yogyakarta, around 100 staffs. It's not Singa, it's Gameloft, well, it's okay. But means we have talents and a bit cheap price. Well, this all a fact, a proof that why Indonesia is interesting, at least not my point of view, but from other point of view. So who will smartly gain the advantage first? So why? If Indonesia is so interesting, is it easy to enter? The answer, of course, no. There are a lot of challenges. There are 3 points like market readiness. Of course, like we are big market. Everyone look on our market, but is it easy to enter? No, the market is maybe some of them not ready. It's almost the same like in other part of Asia or Southeast Asia. Payment still a problem. Distribution, of course. We are even harder than the others. Why? Because we are not archipelago. Most of the part of our country are seas, water. So to distribute is more difficult. Why broadband penetration is slower? Because we are archipelago. It's difficult. Like unlike Singapore, very small, you implement and everyone's connected. Thailand, Vietnam, it's a bit difficult in Indonesia. Let's see how to enter the market. I want to share, so one of the key points that I want to share is to understand the market, especially casual. Indonesia are basically socio-economically diverse. It's different like, let's say, Singapore or Japan, which are quite established. Everyone may be almost in the center of the pyramid of economy. In Indonesia, most of it are lower class with maybe income only less than $1,000 per year annually. So it's very low. But there are other people who are very rich also. So when you talk about, when you talk about casual, you don't talk not just about social demographic. People only say female with certain age like 40 or 30. But you need also to say about economy, power. Which market that you want to target? The one who will spend like $10,000, $1, $2, or $10, it's different. Which one is your market? You need to define it well. Let's see about Indonesia diversity in socioeconomy. Do you know what's this one? This is not a riot. This is not a demonstration either. It's first sale, premiere sale of BlackBerry, the latest BlackBerry. Looks like this. Just because maybe they give a discount like 10% more or 100 US discount. The crowd is like this. So means you sell something in the big price, in the expensive price, still sold out. Our economy, our people is like that. We have a lot of poor people, but also there are many people still who can buy your products. Ferrari, whatever, will sell in Indonesia. There are also other people like this. A little bit price insight. When US is in rupiah is around 10,000, which in Japan is around 1,000. Common credit balance on mobile is around 5,000 to 10,000 rupiah, which means around 50 cents to $1. One mobile, every time they only have like 50 cents or $1. Once they want to buy a new credit, 90%, 95 or 98% of mobile users are prepaid in Indonesia. It's different. Once they top up, basically most of them are only $1, but maybe 1 week they top up, per 1 week they top up again. This will affect how you design, how much the ARPU, how much you want they buy your items and everything. Let's say for communication and everything they use 9,000, so they will spend for entertainment for 1,000 rupiah. So you can design how much you want them to buy your products for entertainment reason. So the question is, should you localize? The answer is to define your market. Which one is your market, like what I said before? Is it in the upper class or is it in the lower class? Not just demographic. Upper class can buy more, $10, maybe more. Even one in the online game, they can spend like 1,000 US dollar just for a game in a month. Sometimes when they gambling, they will lose a house, they will lose a car. So that's Indonesia. We've been a partner for Square Enix. We help them to localize. We suggest them to localize the language. There's a reason why. First, actually Final Fantasy is very famous everywhere in Southeast Asia. But who knows Final Fantasy? They are gamers. If I ask those other people who are not gamers, they doesn't know about Final Fantasy. And those are the market. Those are the casual ones. So if I present them an English game, maybe they don't understand about the game. And Final Fantasy is an RPG game. To understand Final Fantasy fully and understand and appreciate, you need to understand the story. It's not a racing game, it's not a sports game. You doesn't need to localize and translate into your local language. You can play, you can enjoy. RPG is different. That's why we suggest to translate and localize. And it's quite well, but the real localization will be the method. We will try to change it to the free game for a Final Fantasy with subscription model. That's the way we localize the approach. The target to launch this kind of new approaches in the mid of this year. I have a trivia a little bit. We helped them to enter into Samsung Android. Quite funny facts. We helped them to localize the Indonesian language. For them, it's the first time. We make it to make Final Fantasy localized to Indonesian language for the Android version. And that Android version actually launched first in Indonesia before in Japan or global. That's the first time happened in their history. In Indonesia, it released at 23rd November. Well, in Japan, it's just 1 December. So we made something in the history, so it's quite good. Also, in the first time in the history, they released a product first in foreign language, not in Japan or in English or global. So it's quite something. We got a combo here. So let's back to the question. Should we localize? Yes, if you have defined your market, so let's see what you need to do. First, localize the approach. Let's see EA and Gameloft. They are in Indonesia as a market. They come, they sell the product, but they're not selling like paper download. They do many things that Indonesian do. If Indonesian do subscription, they do subscription. That's the way like Gameloft do their games in Indonesia. There are many cases. Price point also different. They're not very stubborn, but their price should be like $3 or $10. It sells for about $1 in general. For the good games like The Sims, it's only $1. For the cheaper games, it's maybe only 50 cents. And then, if you need to localize the language, after all of those considerations, then please localize the language. If it's targeting mass, of course you need to localize. You can see many online games, all in Indonesia are localized. Other businesses like internet-based, like if you Facebook, Google, Yahoo, all localized. Because they knew the target are mass. Mass are not speaking English. But if your target is only on the upper part, you don't need to localize. So it depends. And then you can localize the contents. Contents means the game or the product is the same, but you add some additional contents with local flavor, Indonesian flavor. Sometimes we have a specific holiday, they make an event of that specific holiday, for example. Deeper, you can localize the theme or game. So you just bring the game engine into Indonesia and totally reskin the game, totally, with the same mechanic. That can also. Depends. Again, depends what's your market and how to approach the market. This is just a very quick sharing about when we translate to Square Enix into Indonesian. This is just a share that Bahasa Indonesia is tend to be longer in sentences. So if you make in English like only 3 sentences, maybe it will become 5 or 6 sentences in Indonesia with longer letters. So we tend to be longer. And sometimes Bahasa Indonesia is quite formal sometimes. Let's see a summary to close my session. Last word, Indonesia, we're not a jungle. Okay. Okay. But maybe this is just a wrong slide. Should be the real one. We have a big potential after China and India. Maybe currently people have a focus more on the China and India, but once they are saturated, Indonesia might be next. Currently, we are still very, very early. If you see penetration in China, maybe already 60%, 70%, 80%. Internet in Indonesia, only 17%. Games still very early. Practically no local market. It's still very, very young. Still very, very blue ocean. It's not a red. But to implement, to enter Indonesia, you need an extra care on the preparation and execution. That's all. Thank you. Any question? And maybe please in the center. Message from the organizer, please in the center.
Do you have any figures on smartphone versus feature phone penetration in Indonesia?
Okay. I will just answer. There are numbers. Maybe smartphones currently only less than 10 million, so very, very small. Currently, the best smartphone still BlackBerry. It's selling maybe per month still around at least 200,000 units, per unit around 100,000. Android second, owned by Samsung for now, the market leader. They are selling maybe around 20,000 to 30,000 units for the best device. Very, very small, still less than 10 million. Finish? Okay, thank you.